This is the SUMIF function, and the SUMIF function will sum the values in a range of cells based on criteria that we add to the function. I'm still working on my portfolio summary worksheet, and I'm summarizing the data in the investment detail worksheet. And for this exercise, we're going to summarize or add up the unrealized gains that exist for the investments in our investment portfolio, and we're going to add them up by investment type. So we can see for each investment type how much total gains we've achieved from our portfolio. So I'm going back into the portfolio summary worksheet, clicking on cell D3, typing an equal sign. The function name is SUMIF, and then an open parentheses. So the first argument of the SUMIF function is the range. The range argument is where the function is going to look to find a match to the criteria that is used to define the criteria argument. So I'm going to click back onto the investment detail worksheet, and I'm highlighting the range B5 down to B34. So I'm adding cell capacity to this function just in case additional data is added to this worksheet. We'll go ahead and move the tip box up so we can see it. So now if additional data is added to the worksheet, it will be included in the function. The next thing I'm doing is tapping the F4 key on my keyboard. You want to make sure you have an absolute reference on the range that you use to define the range argument so that when the function is copied and pasted, this range won't be altered or changed. Typing the comma. This is the criteria argument. This is what the function is going to look for in this range. So I'm going back to the portfolio summary worksheet, and I'm clicking cell A3. So the first thing the function is going to look for is whatever is in cell A3, which is the bond ETF, and it's going to look for bond ETF in this range, B5 to B34 in the investment detail worksheet. Okay, typing a comma. This brings me to the sum range. The sum range contains the values that I'm going to sum and use as the output for the function. So I'm clicking on the investment detail worksheet tab, and I'm going to highlight the range Q5 down to Q34, so I'm maintaining the same capacity range. Again, just in case data is added, we will have that data included in the output of the function. So next thing I'm going to do is put an absolute reference on this range. So I'm tapping the F4 key on my keyboard. Same reason we applied the absolute reference on this range. I don't want this range being altered by relative referencing when the function is copied and pasted. So I'm going to type a closing parentheses and tap the Enter key. So we have a total gain for the bond ETF category of $19,547. I'm going to click on cell D3, going to copy and highlight the range D4 to D7. I'm clicking the down arrow on the paste button. I'm selecting the formulas option. Again, I don't want to change the border at the bottom of cell of row 7, so the formula option will allow me to do that. And now we can see what the total gains are by investment category in our portfolio summary worksheet. And that is how you use the SUMIF function.